Semifinal number 2 in the girls single A classification at the Macon Centerplex. Thanks for joining us here on the GHSA Network, everybody. I'm Chris Mooneyham. Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy, the Lady Warriors, number 1 in the state, versus number 9, the Lady Indians of Charlton County. And we're underway. The winner faces the big bad Wesleyan Lady Wolves in the state championship game. The energy in this old building really turns up when you get into the second half of these ball games in these 3 days. Jumper opening is good. That's Shavante Naylor. Naylor had a huge ball game in the state quarterfinal win over St. Francis. We'll get into all that as we move throughout the ball game. And there she is. Courtney Williams throws up the jumper, no good. We'll talk a lot about Courtney Williams in this one as well. Well, the fast-paced start won't let the play-by-play guy catch up. Inside and a foul. All right, let's run through this thing. The Lady Indians of Charlton County will start Courtney Williams, number 10. She is arguably the number 1 player in the state. Nat Reed, number 12, will be a starter as well. Brittany Cruz is number 14. Keturah Rutherford is number 20. And Nigeria Dasher, number 32. With the ball in her hand, there she is, Courtney Williams, a senior at 5'10", a guard. She is some kind of scorer. And she'll need to carry her team tonight. Not alone, they'll have to win as a team, but she may have to have about a 20-point game to win this thing. Great pass, great transition. In the end, it'll be a turnover. Charlton County, the Lady Indians, will have possession now. They come into this ball game at 24-4 overall. They finished 8-0 in the regular season in Region 2A, and they won the region tournament by beating Turner County in the semifinals and Wilcox County in the finals. 2 very good teams in the girls single A ranks. They're outscoring their opponents 58-44 so far this year. And get this number. Of their 4 losses this year, they have not lost to a single A team all year. They have not lost inside their own classification all year. Quite simply, these are 2 of the best teams in the state. There's no doubt about it. Their 3 of their 4 losses have come to Quad A schools. Courtney Williams drives and dishes off, and the pass a little bit errant. Here comes Saka down the court. Good pass, good vision, can't quite finish it. Rebound underneath, off glass, and in. The bucket put back in by Amy Griffin. Amy had 14 in the quarterfinal win over St. Francis, and a timeout called, a 30-second timeout called by Charlton County. 4-0. All right, let's keep rolling through this. I mentioned how good Charlton County is. Only 4 losses all year, not 1 to a single A team. 3 of their losses came to Quad A schools. That other loss was outside of the state. This their 3rd Final Four appearance for the ladies donned in red on the left side of your screen. This their 3rd Final Four appearance. Last year, they finished 23-4 and lost to Calvary Day in the Sweet 16. Some believe Courtney Williams is the state's best player. She's carried the Indians to this 24-4 record. Get this number. In the playoffs thus far, she owns the single playoff game record of 47 points. She scored 10 in an overtime win, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, and 5 blocks in an 85-82 win over Dooley County. Turnover and a score, 6-0, Southwest Atlanta Christian. Maybe another turnover. Williams stumbling, gets it back, and pushes. They've got numbers. Courtney dishes, and the finish. Nice vision to hit her teammate, Keturah Rutherford. Meanwhile, the Lady Warriors, quite simply, a lot of people want to see a lot of people who don't have a vested interest in this ball game want to see them win this game because they want to see them play Wesleyan, because a lot of people think that this is in fact the best team in the state. A jump ball, the arrow in favor of the Lady Indians. Southwest, number 1 in the state, 28-3 overall, 11-0. They finished in the regular season in Region 9A. This their 6th, semifinal appearance in the last 7 years. They're outscoring their opponents by a staggering 29 points per ball game at 62-33. And I've got a statistic. I got a statistic for you that I could hardly believe when I read it. A steal. The push. And the right-handed off-glass shot. No good. There's Amy Griffith there. Another turnover. 6 turnover early. Griffin is rejected. Brown off glass and in. 6 turnovers early for Charlton County. We're not, well, just now 3 minutes in. They got to be careful. Southwest Atlanta Christian, so athletic, so suffocating defensively. Williams loses that one or has it knocked out from behind. And the push, drive, dish, off glass and in, and that's what they do so very effectively. Brandy Wilkie drives, dishes off to Griffin, and Amy, the sophomore, finishes. 10-2. Oh boy. Another turnover. Well, their defense has just been unbelievable this year. I mentioned they're outscoring their opponents. They're giving up just 33 points per ball game on average, but get this number. Now, really, I know a lot of times you drown out a play-by-play guy as you're watching the broadcast, but please, I'm begging you to pay attention to this very next phrase I'm about to give you. They beat Landmark Christian and Tech High Schools back-to-back nights, back-to-back ball games by a combined score of 163-14. That's right, 163-14. I didn't misspeak, and that wasn't a misprint. Their defense is just that good. Rejection from behind by Williams. Second, third opportunity up, still no good, and finally the rebound put back up and in by Shavante Naylor. They've held their opponents, Southwest Atlanta Christian, that is, to under 20 points this season 8 times. Jumper in and out. Boy, they need shots like that to fall if they're going to win this one tonight. Cruz couldn't get it to fall. The dish. The shot was altered. Good job defensively of altering that one by Dasher. Williams pushes. She's yet to score. Great vision and pass and finish for Alicia Doyle. 12-4 now. Southwest has been a powerhouse for about the last decade. They won the state championship in 06. A 3-ball, no good, off back iron. And the rebound pulled away. Inside, dish off, glass in with a foul. Alexis Carter. Alexis, who may arguably be the top player for the Lady Warriors, has missed most of this season with an ACL injury. You'll see as soon as the man in stripes moves just a bit to his right, you'll see the big heavy brace on the left knee of Carter. Carter's first game back this season after that injury. You see the brace on her knee. As we had a lane violation there. So the free throw will not count. The free throw will not count. It stays at 14-4. Carter's first game back from the knee injury was the first game of the state tournament. And last week in that hard-fought win versus St. Francis, another of the best teams in the state, she scored 6 straight points in that one to give her team the lead late, and they held on to win it. And a walk. Boy, oh boy. If you've been watching all afternoon, you thought you got a clinic in defensive pressure from Wesleyan. Southwest Atlanta Christian says tit for tat, a 3-ball that goes. Oh boy. Marquita Daniels, the sophomore at 5'6", the guard, hits the 3-pointer from straight away. We got ourselves a 13-point ball game. Here's Williams being absolutely suffocated. Courtney gonna drive around the entire defense and score. Finally. That's what she's saying, finally. You could see the relief on her face as she scored just now. Her first bucket of the ball game. The nominee for ESPN's Player of the Year. Struggling early. Wild shot there, ball loose, pulled away by Dasher. And they push. Courtney, look at her slash through the defenders and go to line. Charlton trying to hang in this one. They got to be careful. Most experts, including yours truly, believe the top 3 teams in the state in the single A ranks: Southwest, Wesleyan, and St. Francis. Only 2 of those teams are here. Williams misses the first free throw. This Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy team, in white, by the way, if I did not articulate that earlier. Saca in white, Charlton County in red. Well, they took out St. Francis in the quarterfinals. That's not to take anything away from Charlton now, by the way. They're 24-4. As I mentioned, the statistics, never lost a game inside of single A all season. And they've got one of the best players in the state, regardless of classification. But there seemed to be this year a little bit of a separation between the top 3 teams and then that second rung. Now, Charlton County definitely at the top of that second rung. But most people believe this Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy team and Wesleyan on a collision course for the state championship matchup. And I'll tell you what, if those 2 teams do play in the state championship here on, what is it, Saturday, I think? Let me look here at my trusty score sheet. On the 10th at 11 a.m. Those 2 teams meet each other in the state championship. The final score may be 30-28. I mean, the defensive pressure you'll see in that one. Minute 40 left, first quarter. 17-7. Lady Warriors out in front. Great vision and score. That's the other thing that Courtney does, and she has to do that a lot as well, because obviously she's become a marquee player as a senior throughout the state. So a lot of teams know who she is and key in on her. She sees a lot of double teams, and so she does a good job of dishing the basketball. But as they've done through the entirety of the first quarter, Saca comes right back down and drops in a jumper. 10-point lead. Oh, careful for the over and back. Loose ball. Could have been a foul call there. Jumper, free throw line. No good. Ball still loose. Big rebound opportunity for Charlton. Can't quite get it. Floater off glass and in. Boy, how impressive is Shavante Naylor looked in this one. Gracious. Timeout called. Charlton. Mentioned that heavyweight matchup between Saca and St. Francis. They met in the state quarterfinals over at Marietta High School, my old stomping grounds, back on the 3rd. St. Francis led that ball game. I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was 48-43. And then Saca went on a 6-0 run to take the lead, and they held on to win that ball game 53-48. But that was quite a semifinal matchup. Or quite a quarterfinal matchup, pardon me. St. Francis, so good. They were one of the few teams to beat Wesleyan this year. In fact, a lot of people don't realize Wesleyan didn't even win their region tournament. That was St. Francis that knocked them out in the region tournament championship game. A lot of people don't realize Wesleyan was a number 2 seed at a Region 5 this year. Not the case for either one of these teams. Charlton, the number 1 team out of Region 2, took out Seminole County 44-32, then beat Dooley County in that overtime thriller that I spoke of a moment ago, 85-82. I did not see that ball game. I read the reports from it and talked to a couple of people who were there and said that had to have been the game of the tournament. 85-82 was the final in that one. 4th foul you saw there on your screen on Saca. That'll be one way Charlton can get back in this one. Dasher is trapped. Somebody got to get over there and help her in a steal. Ball loose, goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with the ladies in red. And then finally Charlton got into the semifinal matchup with their 44-35 win over Mitchell County. Saca's road, besides the St. Francis matchup, a little less daunting. They beat Washington Wilkes by 45, or 35, pardon me. Missed shot and push. Jumper. No good. Ball loose, big rebound. They're owning the boards early. 20 seconds. 3 ball, that's big. And it goes. Marquita Daniels hits another big shot in this first quarter. And with 10 seconds left, her team leads all of a sudden by a 24-9 margin. Williams goes to the rack wide open and cannot hit it. The push, got to throw it up, and they won't get off a shot. Boy, oh boy. No matter how good you expected Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy to look in this ball game, you may still be surprised by a 24-9 lead over Charlton at the end of one on the GHSA network. Back for second quarter action here at the historic Macon Centerplex. Elvis played here. Ted Turner. Holy smokes. I've only called 2 games. I'm already losing my mind. How about Tina Turner? Drive off glass and in. Oh boy. Marquita Daniels. Hey, don't look down. Marquita Daniels, the leading scorer in this ball game now with 8. She's their quote-unquote 6th man. Williams trapped in the corner every time she's seeing the double team. She gets it back on baseline. Dumped down underneath, off glass, could have been a foul call, but no matter, the finish by Rutherford. 26-11. Saka scoring at will here. Average 62 per ball game. They're well on that pace. Drive, baseline, off glass, no good. Naylor put a little bit too much on that one. Shavante, a pretty good score at 5'8", a senior. She had 17 in that win versus St. Francis. Amy Griffin had 14 in the win over St. Francis. Those are the 2 big scores for the Lady Warriors. Led by head coach Jackie Cowan. Another turnover. Big shot. And it goes. That's a 2. They're calling that a 2. Her foot was on the line. So 28-11. And nearly a steal. Comes right over here behind us. Cameraman from an Albany television station comes up with it. I'm guessing it's Albany. Its call letters are WALB. Under 6.5. Second quarter. 17-point Lady Warriors lead and another turnover. That's big. No good. Chance at another rebound. This time Courtney Williams comes out with it. She pushes. Courtney lost possession. Oh boy. Now the push by Wilkie. Brandy lost her own 2 feet. Almost double dribbled. Big player inside. Can't quite hit. That was Carter. Here's Williams. Slashing to the bucket. And a reach-in foul. 2 shots coming up for Courtney Williams. Again, those numbers on Williams and that overtime win over Dooley County a week ago. 85-82 was the final. Courtney hits the first free throw. She's only at 3 points, by the way. She had 47 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, and 5 blocks. And next year, she'll be a bull, a lady bull, at South Florida. The word is she has committed to South Florida. 3 ball from the corner, no good. Ball loose underneath, and it looks as though we're going back the other way. No. They'll say the Lady Indian touched that one. Well, he's got a better angle than I do. Underneath. Jump ball or travel? Only 2 ways you could go there. Possession arrow would take us the other way, and it stays white ball. How impressive is Southwest Atlanta Christian looked in this one. Underneath, a lady wide open. She misses the jumper. That's a bailout for the Lady Indians, but the rebound followed up and in by Carter. Boy, oh boy. Saka absolutely dominating the boards. That's the story early, besides their defensive pressure. But having said that, Charlton having all kinds of opportunities down here on the offensive end, but they're not getting any second chance points on rebounds. The push. Here's Nat Reed. No call there. And Saka's got it back. Boy. Jumper. Carter, no good. Southwest Atlanta, get this, has not lost in 2012. Since the turn of the new year, they have yet to lose a ball game. Mainly because of defensive pressure like this. And another 30-second timeout called by Norris Woods. Coach Woods now with just, now the big board says 3 timeouts, but I think Amy Walker's got it right. I think they're down to 2. Amy Walker handling our graphics tonight here in Macon, alongside Lisa Weiss running the point for us on the broadcast, on the production. And Todd Edwards is running a camera around here somewhere. Todd, the big burly man, rehabbing his shoulder. Where's that guy at? Thanks for joining us here on the GHSA Network. Oh, well, now I know where he's at because he's zooming in on me. I'm merely Chris Mooneyham, sitting on the sideline at center court at the Macon Centerplex. Having the time of my life. It's semifinal state tournament basketball action. If you've never had the good fortune of coming out and watching this, you don't need to be a fan of any of these high schools to come watch it. Buy yourself a ticket. You can get an all-day ticket. Come out and see 4 tremendous ball games. We got 4 games inside the single A classification today, 4 in double A tomorrow, and 4 in triple A on Friday. The question of the week is, will my voice make it? We'll all find out together. A drive and a foul. Well, Alicia Doyle going to go to the line. The smart money is I'll lose my voice in the 4th quarter of the 12th game. At least that's what I got in the pool. Doyle, a freshman at 5'6", a guard. Right-hander puts it up and in, 30-13. And Charlton going to have to put together some kind of run. Wesleyan, as we mentioned, took out Taylor County in their opening round ball game. 55-40 was the final in that one. This time a timeout called, the first, I believe, for Saka, or Swaka if you prefer. A 16-point lead. Are we headed for a collision course? Wesleyan won their opening match of the day in very similar fashion to what we're seeing Southwest do here. They were commanding early. They were ruling the rebounding game, not quite as dominant on the boards as Southwest has been in this one, but The defensive pressure was really the story in that one. And it seemed like they made about every open jumper they could, or they had rather. But Taylor County did put on a run and cut a huge deficit down to, 10 or 12. A 3-ball opportunity there. Boy, still no call. They're going to call it a jump ball. Go back the other way. Hey, but look, Charlton can score. This thing not over. They're averaging 58 points per ball game. So yes, they're well below their average. But we know they can score. Ball loose. Who's going to come in the corner with it? Come out of the corner with it. That body foul there. And that'll send Nat Reed to the line. Yana, her full name, a sophomore at 5'4". The point guard knocks down the first. And she hits the second, gets the friendly roll. 14-point game. Well, I mentioned this in the Wesleyan ball game as well. I keep referencing it because the two games have mirrored each other on the girls' side. Your job if you're Charlton, just to chip away at the lead. You chip away at it. You'd love to have this lead at single digits going to the half. They got plenty of time for that. Dump down underneath. Chance at a turnover. And a whistle. What's this call? I got 8 players screening me off here at ground level. With a jump ball. Arrow in favor of the Lady Warriors, so they'll keep it. Chance at a 3. No good off the iron. Don't know if they want Jackson shooting that 3 from the corner. One of their big-time post players. Underneath, wild shot is altered. 21's got it off glass and in. Amy Griffin. One of their top young players at 6 foot. She's just a sophomore. And she is becoming another of the super sophomores around this state. It seems like every single year we've got a new crop of tremendous sophomores that just burst onto the scene in Georgia high school basketball, and predominantly in the girls' ranks. She could not convert the 3-point opportunity, however. And so with 3:10 first half, we got Southwest Atlanta doubling up Charlton. Chip away if you're a Lady Indian. Oh boy. Don't know if she needed to try to save that. That ball was about to go off of a Lady in white. The jumper no good. The ball loose. That's been the story. You saw it right there. Southwest getting to most of the rebounds. I'd say 75% of the rebounds, and they're owning the loose balls as well. I'm not the kind of guy that will say that they're out hustling them, because when you say something like that, in my opinion, you're questioning their effort. And I think at this point in the semifinals, you can't really question anyone's effort. You know, both of these squads, all of the 25 young ladies on these two rosters want to win this more than anything they probably ever wanted. But having said that, when you see one team that's absolutely dominating the boards and dominating the loose balls, well, drive, off glass, no good. Williams the rebound. Boy, she's had a tough time tonight. 3-ball, they need it. And it's no good. Ball headed out of bounds. Very nice save there by Doyle. And we're going back the other way. 2:10 first half. I remind you folks to stay with us for the nightcap tonight. About 15 minutes after the conclusion of this one, we'll have our final game of the day and the final semifinal inside the single A classification. On the boys' side, it'll be Whitfield Academy and Lanier County. Two very good teams. Whitfield Academy, a team that's starting to put some history together, quite frankly. This game keeps on like this, I'll end up giving you a preview of that game coming up in the fourth quarter. Williams comes out with the loose ball and then loses the dribble out of bounds. Boy, oh boy. In the scouting report that I saw on her, it'll tell you that she can score from anywhere on the floor. She's a slasher, she's a grinder, she's tremendously athletic. She does a good job of dishing the ball. She can pretty much do anything on the court. But one thing that you also find is that she is the ultimate competitor from what we've been told. The reason I went through all that to bring that point up was this has got to absolutely be killing her. Let's just call it what it is. She's struggling a bit. Carter can't hit it. The second opportunity up and in. Ralisha Doyle, Shavonte Naylor all over the place here early. Having said that, I'll turn around and defend her as well. She's been double teamed every single time she's touched the basketball. And a couple of times, you've seen her split defenders and immediately a third person was on top of her. Courtney will go to the line. She is starting to heat up just a tad bit, or at least get more opportunities. But like every great player, when she's not scoring, she has been driving and dishing. And she's done a great job at rebounding the basketball. She hits 2 free throws and puts us at a 16-point ball game. Got to give the Lady Indian faithful a lot of credit. They're really cheering on the girls in red. Chain of defense a moment ago. Oh boy, what a rejection. What a rejection by Shirley Pollock. She was tabbed as the last young lady to touch it before it went out of bounds, however. And Saka keeps possession. Jackson, right-handed floater, and it goes. And half of the arena saw a walk there. I don't mean to point out that on the young lady. That is absolutely not what I'm doing. The official right on top of the play, and I only mention it because of the uproar in the crowd a moment ago. But no matter, a great shot there by Jackson. Boy, the iron has been unkind to Courtney in this one. Two missed free throws. Three ball, got it. Boy, oh boy. The Lady Warriors just continue to pour it on. They have dominated the tempo. They've dominated the stat sheet. They've dominated the shooting percentage. And that three goes. Well, that's big. That's Ralisha Doyle. They've dominated the boards, the loose balls, and the scoreboard. And at the end of a half of play in the girls' semifinal number 2 in the single A classification, an 18-point lead for the number 1 team in the state. And you're watching it right here on the GHSA Network. Back for second half action here at the Macon Centerplex on the GHSA network. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Chris Mooneyham. Charlton County, the Lady Indians trail big time to the Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy Lady Warriors, 39-21 as we get ready to start second half action. A lot of people wondered, was there any team that could beat Wesleyan? And a lot of people said that it could be South Atlanta Christian Academy. Well, a lot of people wondered. Many people did not know, but after seeing this performance tonight, if it continues this way, there'll be a lot more people drinking the Kool-Aid. Saka going to start out with possession second half and an 18-point lead. Well, they have been some kind of impressive. My first chance to see them in quite some time. Haven't seen this squad, this makeup of players. Heard nothing but lavish and praise thrown upon them. Now I see why. Charlton's first possession after the turnover. Courtney Williams, heard a lot about her coming into this one, as did a lot of people. A lot of scouting reports of her play. She's been held in check. Down low, this is Carter. Right-handed shot off the glass and no good. You can see her scoring prowess, although she's not been terribly effective in this one. Courtney goes to the rack. Her shot was altered by the defender. And now the push, the dish, and the score. Boy, oh boy, the vision. The tremendous vision of Brandy Wilkie to give off to Shavante Naylor, who puts the layup not quite easily off the glass and in. 20-point lead. Sacco's won 21 consecutive games. Their only loss in the state was to St. Francis. I was talking about those three top teams earlier, talking about Wesleyan, St. Francis, and Southwest Atlanta Christian being the top three teams in the state, clearly separating themselves from everyone else. Southwest, or rather St. Francis, the only team to beat both Wesleyan and Sacco this year. Shot off the glass and out of bounds, and we're going back the other way. The reason I bring that up, again, Sacco's only loss in the state this year was to St. Francis. This is a team that had a tremendous 2011 season. But some people felt they were still a little young, even though they had some junior leadership. Carter was there as a sophomore sensation. Amber Baker, Shavante Naylor, those young ladies were sophomores. Here's Williams, a front iron jumper three that's no good. And the rebound pulled away by Wilkie. Corner shot, no good. Ball still loose. And another rebound for the Lady Warriors. And an easy shot inside. They've had way too many of those in this ball game. Just nobody, and I mean nobody, putting any defensive pressure on these mid-range jumpers. How many mid-range jumpers have we seen that were uncontested for the Lady Warriors tonight? That 2011 season I was talking about last year just a moment ago, they went 24-5. A lot of people were shocked when they got bounced by Pace in the first round of the state tournament. And people knew Pace was good. The Pace team was good. Still, a lot of the pundits did not expect an upset in that one. Of course, Pace went on to pretty good run, making it all the way to the state championship game, where they, of course, lost in the state championship game to, guess who? Wesleyan. First foul of the half. Williams a three. And it's in and out. Been that kind of night. It has been that kind of night for one of the best players in the state. You hate to see that as a competitor. obviously I'm impartial. I've got no vested interest in this ball game, but you like to see the top players, when they're playing at the top of their game in these crucial moments in their careers, have good ball games. You hate to see when they really, really struggle. And look, I'm going to be quite frank with you. Another bucket and an easy one underneath for Naylor. She's becoming arguably the star of this ball game tonight. I don't know if Courtney Williams was having a good ball game, if it would matter tonight. I really, really don't. Southwest just that good. And a steal. Boy, I've said for the last 2 years, the best defensive team that I had seen, bar none, was Wesleyan. Last year and this year, I think. I'm going to tell you something. As I said, this is the first time I've been able to see this club in a few years. There's something else. First free throw put up and no good by Daniels. Marquita Daniels had a huge first quarter. Hit a couple of long jumpers. She had at least 1 3. Memory serves, I don't have the stats in front of me. Maybe she had 2. I know she had 8 points early. She was one of the big reasons why they jumped out to about a 15-point lead about 5 minutes into this one. And a bunny missed underneath. A second easy shot missed underneath. And it goes from bad to worse for the Lady Indians. And now the frustration starting to show. Here's Courtney. Bounce pass, unselfish play. That's part of what makes her such a great player, they say. So unselfish, and she hits Ralisha Doyle. Gives the freshman another opportunity to score. And by the way, Doyle, number 23 in red. Next time you get a chance to look at her, boy, she's a good-looking little freshman. She may be the future. You may have seen the present. A presently great player passing to a future great player, because Ralisha Doyle, in some ways, has been the offense tonight for Charlton County. Well, this seems like as good an opportunity as any to run through our schedule over the next few days here in Macon. Remember, 3 days, 12 games, and 24 teams. That's what we started with Wednesday through Friday here at the Macon Centerplex. We're nearly 3 games into our run. Wesleyan won the first girls semifinal. Athens Christian won the first boys semifinal. And barring the most amazing turnaround any of us have ever seen, Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy is going to take down Charlton and set up the championship game everybody wanted to see. Got another game tonight, Whitfield and Lanier County. Dumped down underneath, off glass, no good, and a rebound by Williams. Well, I said it earlier, she has done one thing really well tonight, and that's rebound the basketball. And there you see her frustration. Again, I got no vested interest in this. I really don't, but I feel so bad for her as a great player who has had such a good career. She'll be a top 5 player in this state. And she's right up there with Lexi Brown and Diamond DeShields and some of the other fine players in this state. She cuts a baseline cut there, takes the inbounds pass. Well, that was a well-designed play. Wonder if that was a set motion call there by Norris Woods. Haven't seen that so far in this ball game. Don't believe we have anyway, but it was a gorgeous play to get their top scorer open. And Courtney hits the first. Underneath, and she lost the handle. We'll go back the other way. Dribble penetration, and the pass is intercepted. Now the bring down. Watch out from behind. Great job by the defender. That was Nat Reed coming from behind, and a three ball that doesn't go. But a big rebound underneath, and a foul call. Naylor will go back to the line. So today it's single A action. Tomorrow double A action. We'll have 4 more games inside the double A classification. As always, we'll start with the girls. We'll go girls, and boys. You see the team foul situation on your screen. And the first free throw good. We'll start with Laney and Lovett. Laney and Lovett, our first semifinal in the double A girls tomorrow. Then we'll come back a little bit after that. And the Laney boys, well, they've made the semifinals as well. That's the second straight year that Laney has sent both their boys and girls squads to the semifinals. Saw them last year. They didn't have a whole lot of success getting bounced in both semifinal matchups. Still quite an accomplishment to send both the boys and girls teams to the semifinals. Dumped down underneath, Carter scores. Alexis Carter with the bucket. Can't wait to see her when she's at full strength next year, when she's all the way back from the knee injury. Look at this shot from way out, off the side of the iron, and it kicks out for the long rebound. The push, and the score with the foul. An exclamation point. Marquita Daniels, the sophomore, has had quite a ball game and a chance now at the three-point play. So I mentioned Laney's boys and Laney's girls. The Laney boys will take on Jordan in the first boys semifinal matchup. Then on the other side of the bracket, for the double A girls, if you're a basketball historian but you don't know who's playing, oh, look at the steal by Daniels and the finish. Oh my goodness, Marquita Daniels. Boy, oh boy. Let me read my roster sheet here again and make sure I read that correctly. She is just a sophomore, but she's quick. She's got great hands. I mean, she is everywhere out there. Push, dish, shot is just off. Not a bad idea, but you had Wilkie driving in and dishing. Here's Williams. And really, gosh, hate that for Courtney, her teammate. That freshman I've been calling all night. Doyle was right down on top of her there, and the pass was a little quick fire from Williams and a little too hot for Doyle to handle. They were fortunate, however, on its way off the hands of Doyle and headed out of bounds. It went off of a Saka player. Look at the shot there for Williams. Now she's got that range, by the way. She has that range. She can make that shot. However, she has been unsuccessful in those attempts tonight. 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. And a reach-in foul. We're going to get Daniels on that one. As I was mentioning a second ago, the second semifinal matchup for the girls of the double A ranks tomorrow will be Brooks versus Buford. If you know your history, you know that the Buford girls are going for their third consecutive state championship. Take on Brooks County. A lot of people believe it'll be Buford and Laney. And those two teams, well, they met last year in that semifinal that Laney lost, I mentioned a moment ago. Drive, floater, no good. Are they going to give her the shots or say she was fouled on the floor? Yep, they'll say 2 shots. She was fouled. Well, drive-by foul there. To send Jackson to the line. Senior right-hander dips, shoots, and front irons it. And then our nightcap tomorrow night. Of course, AA boys matchup, Vidalia and Manchester. My first chance to see the Manchester Blue Devils since 1998. Excited about that. Manchester took out the 2-time defending state champions, Greater Atlanta Christian School. Quite a magical season for the Manchester Blue Devils. Courtney drives and is fouled. And come the fourth quarter, give you a preview of AAA action coming up on Friday. AAA is going to be something to see. Mentioning Courtney Williams earlier, and I just realized as I'm looking at the brackets here, I mentioned Courtney and Lexi Brown and Diamond DeShields as 3 of the top players in the state, as Carter banks one in. She rolled her eyes after she made that shot. She rolled her eyes at her own shot. I love that. I'll tell you, somebody I forgot to mention was Alicia Gray, who actually may be the player of the year this year in Georgia high school girls basketball. A Washington County star. We'll see her in the first game here on Friday afternoon. So if you're tuning in, and again, you don't have any vested interest, a 3-ball by Doyle is off the side of the iron, no good. Rebound pulled away inside by Pollock. She'll dish it out to Williams. Williams, this has been another storyline. She's been trying to penetrate all day long, and she's usually only been able to do it on transition opportunities. For the most part, the perimeter defense of Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy has been impenetrable. .30 seconds left, third quarter. .31-point lead. Gracious. 3-ball. Off iron, side iron. Rebound underneath. Looked like she was nearly out of bounds. Carter misses a bunny. Another bunny shot missed underneath. 7 seconds left now off the glass. What is this, about a 5th or 6th opportunity? Still loose. And the quarter will come to the close on the Williams shot. It takes out our camera over there underneath the goal. Well, it didn't knock it off the post, and that's really all that matters. What also matters in this arena is that Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy, a quarter away from the heavyweight matchup versus Wesleyan. They own a 31-point lead going to the fourth on the GHSA network. Back for fourth quarter action here at the Macon Centerplex. In the second semifinal, our final girls game in the single A classification here today. By the way, we start with 6 minutes on the fourth quarter clock because of the rolling clock and the mercy rule being that it's a 30-point ball game. The mercy rule in high school sports. A 3-ball opportunity there is blocked. That was Doyle on the shot. Yep. And then a loose ball goes out of bounds. So if you're wondering, maybe you think our clock is incorrect or you're just not reading it right, but no. No worries, you're not going crazy. At least not about that. 5:20 left. Sacco well on their way to a semifinal victory. Boy, oh boy. I'm never one to write it down in my brackets early, but I think I'm going to do it. Now, despite 2 blowouts, score underneath puts it at 59-26. Despite the 2 blowouts this afternoon and evening here at the Macon Centerplex, it has been a very entertaining 3 ball games. Look at that score by Williams. She just muscled that one up in there. She's kind of wiry. You see she doesn't have a lot of muscle. You can see her there, right there on the baseline, number 10, contesting the shot. And she looks about as skinny in person as she does on your computer screens or your mobile device. I'm not even going to get into all that. But she's surprisingly strong is also part of the scouting report on her. A lot of people think that's because of her determination. Marquita. Oh boy. Had the easy one and had way too much time to think about it. Marquita Daniels. And she has a good laugh at herself about it. She had too much time to think about that one. You can see her running back towards the camera with a smile on her face, number 10. You know, these games are archived, by the way, on the GHSA network, on GHSA.tv. If you are perhaps just joining us, you're wondering about previous action from around the state. That air ball, Johnny on the spot to pick up the loose ball is Katura Rutherford. And she gets 2 out of it. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, please do yourself a favor. A foul on a reach-in. Going to send Naylor back to the line. Go and check the archived broadcast. I had the good fortune of calling our second ball game of the day here between Athens Christian and Turner County. I can safely say you will not be disappointed. I've covered these semifinals and playoffs in one form or fashion, one form or another, many, many years. Very seldom do you get a game quite that exciting in the semifinals. That game better than any game we had here last year, I'll tell you that. And I handled the play-by-play duties here in Macon last year. It was entertaining, don't get me wrong. We had a couple of very good ball games, but none that ended quite in that fashion. And no, I'm not going to tell you what happened. Not going to tell you how it ended. Not going to ruin it for you. Okay, here's what happened. Courtney between the legs. Takes on the dribble. Drives, dishes, and the score. Boy, oh boy. Rutherford with 2 more. Beautiful pass by Courtney Williams. Daniels can't hit the long jumper this time. Helped her team space out a pretty big lead early in this ball game by hitting long jumpers. Little over 3 minutes left. And yes, the score you see on your screen is correct. 61-32. Courtney double team at the center court line. And a foul. Amy Griffin, needless to say, not a fan of that call. Courtney dips, shoots, and hits. What a career for Courtney Williams. What a 4-year run it was for this young lady. Over the last 2 years, nearly 50 victories. 3 ball, what a friendly bounce. My, oh my, Amber Baker gets the 3-point shot. It's a 30-point lead. Now a 3 ball by Doyle, and she makes it. There's your future. Well, Alicia Doyle. Says she's 5'6". Mentioned earlier a few times, I know, that she's a freshman. Looks a little taller than 5'6". Ball loose. Williams still out there. I think Courtney's played every single minute of this ball game. There's her competitive edge. Now she'll be playing in the Big East next year. Or Conference USA. Holy smokes. My mind just went blank. 2:16 left. She'll be at South Florida. Don't send me emails. I'll remember it as soon as the broadcast is over. Dumped down, intercepted there by Rutherford. And the push. Williams, the floater off glass, and no good. That would have been a beautiful bucket. Saved, and a nice save at that. And Saka pushes. So a tremendous career for Williams, about to come to an end for the senior. A 2,000-point scorer. Led her team to nearly 50 wins over the last 2 years. And a semifinal appearance this year. She'll be at South Florida next year, and she had such a tremendous season this year and will certainly be a finalist for State Player of the Year. Charlton will finish their season at 23-5. Or no, pardon me, 24-5. Don't want to shorten that one victory. They'll finish at 24-5, and of course, with a bit of a bitter taste in their mouth. But today, well, today belongs to the Lady Warriors of Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy. This their 6th semifinal appearance in the last 7 years. They'll be back in the state championship game. They will have now won 22 consecutive ball games, and the 2006 state champions will hold a very good offensive team, perhaps to under 40 points. Just above their average. And we will, in fact, get the matchup, well, that most people wanted to see. 5-second call on Courtney Williams. Let's hope that's not her last possession. 58.2. Southwest led this one 24-9 at the end of one, 39-21 at the half, and 57-26, just a 5-point third quarter for Charlton. 57-26 at the end of 3. And they may win this one by 30 plus. The bucket, the shot, put up and in, and the final seconds are ticking down on the season for Charlton. Dumped down inside, and the bucket. It's Rutherford again. Yep, we'll get the matchup that everybody wanted. It'll be #1 Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy in the 2012 state championship game versus #3 Wesleyan Lady Wolves as the final seconds tick off in this one. That shot, no good. 68-39. An absolute clinic put on by the Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy Lady Warriors. and we'll get what we wanted. It'll be Wesleyan and Southwest in the state championship game. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back in about 15 or 20 minutes, we'll have our fourth game of the day. Linear County and Whitfield Academy coming up in the second boys semifinal right here on the GHSA Network.